Greetings. By virtue of your presence watching this video today, I want you to know that we consider you to be an extended member of our family at Unity in Linwood. We believe that you are an individualized expression of that one creative impetus which stands behind all life, and as such we celebrate the uniqueness which you are, and we celebrate our unity with you. We are glad you're with us. Postcard on your way out if you are interested. He will be with us on Sunday, April 22nd and Monday, April 23rd, offering workshops, $39 for one, $49 for both. How did I do? Is that correct? He will also offer private sessions throughout the day on both Monday and Tuesday. That's offered by appointment. Simply ring the office. If you're interested in becoming a member of this evolving divine idea we call Unity in Linwood, today is your day. Join me following this service right here in the front of the sanctuary for an orientation we call the Basics of Unity. This will be followed by a reception in your honor and new members Sunday on the last Sunday of the month. And please be reminded that tickets are now on sale for Marianne Williamson's Love America Tour Seattle, an event that is produced by Unity in Linwood. On Saturday, June 30th, visit the Edmonds Center for the Arts website to purchase your tickets. Every service at Unity in Linwood has an ambassador. This individual's role is to support you in your discovery and exploration of this divine idea we call Unity in Linwood. So if you have a question about what we teach, about what we believe, about what is available to you, you are welcome to engage this soul in conversation, that you might have a face to put with a name. She will now raise her hand. Her name is Nan Allen. Practical spirituality, welcoming community. It is a 4-word mission statement that I believe speaks volumes. And yet every week I like to revisit one of the 6 bullet points which we developed in conversation with your board of trustees beginning in late 2016. Take a deep breath. See if this is a place in consciousness, a spiritual value with which you can align. It reads as follows: we seek to discover and to share spiritual practices which are reliable and repeatable, and to infuse these spiritual practices into every arena of daily life. How we doing? The student, having just returned from Nicaragua, wrote, and I quote, "At Lead Prep on Fridays, we do service field trips to help the local community. In Nicaragua, we helped a little village with major poverty. We helped build a school for kids in the village so they wouldn't have to walk miles or struggle for an education. Our particular job was to dig 6 to 7 holes 5 feet deep to pour the foundation. This was in 90 to 100 degree weather. We did this for 3 or 4 hours a day for 6 days. We learned about fair trade, about privilege, about coffee production. We had to shop in the local market on their budget for one meal. I was surprised at how happy the kids are in Nicaragua. They don't complain. They smile. They get through it. We have more stuff here, but we aren't as happy. We aren't as positive." He closes by saying, we need to change that. It's tempting in cynical circles to look at our youth and say, oh, I have to tell you, I look at our youth and I say, I have optimism. I have faith when I interact with our young people. That's what I see. I've been asked to speak to you today on the title, and I quote, "The Infinite Nature of You." Now I have to say, I think that's an awesome title, don't you? The Infinite Nature of You. It's encouraging. It's uplifting. It's affirming. I mean, it seems to imply that no matter what's up in life, and isn't there pretty much always something up in life? It seems to imply that no matter what's up in life, there's something within you, the infinite nature of you, if you will, that's ample to the situation. So I just love it. I absolutely love that. I mean, it feels good. Now, perhaps it could have been titled The Infinite Nature of Me, at which point I could have invited the entire assembly to whisper, oh, I don't know, say 3 times such a title, The Infinite Nature of Me, and just to sit with that, the infinite nature of me, the infinite nature of me. Oh, I suppose I could have even had you touch that heart center and consider it in an even more deep way, the infinite nature of me, the infinite nature of me, the infinite nature of me. The introverts love it when I do this stuff. That would have been nice. But alas, I've been asked to speak to you today on the infinite nature of you. And it's really quite the same thing. You see, after all, the infinite nature of you is the infinite nature of me, or it wouldn't be infinite. Oh Lord, what has he gone and said now? Would you like to hear that again? The infinite nature of you is the infinite nature of me, or it would not be infinite. And yet I guess the title makes some sense. After all, isn't it in our culture easier, if not more acceptable, to discuss the infinite nature of you than it is to discuss the infinite nature of me? Isn't it often easier, if not more acceptable, to discuss the talent of you than it is to discuss the talent of me? The wisdom of you, the capacity of you, the power of you, the value of you? Why, to discuss the appearance of you is not only more acceptable, it's practically a societal expectation. I mean, to spot an old friend at the Piggly Wiggly and to say, it's great to see you. You haven't changed a bit. You're just as lovely today as you were way back when is one thing. But to attend the class reunion and to lead with, it's great to see you. I haven't changed a bit. Why, I'm just as lovely today as I was way back when. It would be considered tantamount to a psychotic break of some sort, I think. I've been invited to my 35th class reunion this year. You understand? It's quite simply up for me. It's just up. It's up. So maybe social mores are why it's difficult to embrace the infinite nature of me, but that's why we have prayer chaplains. For you see, they are there to embrace and to affirm the infinite nature of you until you become able to affirm and to embrace the infinite nature of self. And frankly, I don't understand why our prayer chaplains don't have lines of people seeking such an affirmation following every Sunday service. Maybe you still think that there are people there who are to enroll God in your life when you have a problem. And maybe you quite simply have no problems. That might be it. But that is so yesterday. It is so backwards. For you see, they aren't there to enroll God in your life. They are there to enroll you in God life. Doing okay with that? They aren't there to encourage God into the realm of human awareness. They are there to encourage you into the realm of God awareness. In other words, and at the risk of anthropomorphizing and humanizing, even projecting, they aren't there to get God to take a step toward you. They are there to encourage you to take a step toward God. Reverend Linda Martella Whitsett, Director of Silent Unity. She is the celebrated author of titles such as How to Pray Without Talking to God. I love that title. She would offer the core of our spiritual work as just that, awakening to our divine nature. And as a teaser, Reverend Linda will be at Unity in Linwood for our first all-community retreat, at least during my tenure. The streamlined event will include a Friday evening dinner, followed by a keynote address, followed by an all-day Saturday workshop themed Divine Audacity, Embody Your True Self. She has a gift for the title, don't you think? All meals, all materials will be included in what will be a $99 registration fee. Reservations will come available next Sunday. So here's the deal. The nature of that ultimate reality, which we call God, is givingness. It knows no withhold. So our work in prayer isn't about getting God to give, because God is givingness itself. Our work in prayer is about positioning ourselves to receive that which has already been freely given. Don't wait for problems to do that. See a chaplain. Let them embrace and affirm the infinite nature of you until you are able to embrace and affirm the infinite nature of self. And call me in the morning. Now, when I say I've been asked to speak to you today, it's more accurate to say that I asked myself to speak to you today. When I submitted my series titles well before Easter, it seems like a lifetime ago, really. So even though it's more accurate to say that I asked myself to speak to you today, it really feels like I've been asked to speak to you today. But either way, I'm really happy and I'm deeply, deeply honored to get to speak to you today. So thank you for being here. And thank you for being here. And thank you for being here. And whether we start by directing the idea inward, by touching our hearts and whispering the infinite nature of me, or by looking at a neighbor or a loved one and whispering the infinite nature of you, I invite you into an exploration of that nature, which by virtue of being infinite must be common to all of us. And because we gather on a morning such as this, in a building such as this, we call that infinite nature God.
When I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray.
Breathe our way back. It's really a retelling of Unity's first two tenets or principles. You see, there is one ultimate reality which contains all other realities. There's one life that contains all expressions. There's one wisdom that contains all ideas. There is one supply that contains all demonstrations. This ultimate reality has no opposition. That there are two forces battling for possession of your human soul is a human construct, a projection of humanity's free will gone amok on that ultimate reality, on the divine, on God itself. And when I say itself, please know, I mean no disrespect, quite the contrary, in fact. For as opposed to our deep childhood programming of that ultimate reality of the divine, of God itself, as an anthropomorphic being with a moody disposition, a disposition which has been evolving in our stories since our ancestors stumbled out of Africa some 100,000 years ago, you understand, from God as the life behind all life, to gods of fertility and nature with the rise of agricultural existence, to gods of strength and combat with the rise of tribal existence, to Judaism's God of oneness, to Christianity's Trinity. I say itself to snap that tendency to project and impose human limitation, including gender pronouns, on God. Someday I'll do a series on the evolution of our God story. How beautiful it is, and this is my current opinion, that humanity's story of God is returning to one akin to that of the earliest people whose cave etchings depicted a God as the life behind all life. How beautiful is that? So again, that there are two forces battling it out for possession of your human soul is a human construct, a projection of humanity's free will gone amok on that ultimate reality, on the divine, on God itself. So to be clear, Unity has no devil. You're welcome. Good morning. Thanks for coming. That's it. Here you go. There is one ultimate reality that contains all other realities. There is one life that contains all expressions. There is one wisdom that contains all ideas. There is one supply that contains all demonstrations. This ultimate reality has no opposition. And because there is one ultimate reality which contains all other realities, it contains you. And you contain it. In other words, unity's second principle or tenet would say that because God is all there is, you cannot stand outside of God. So the life that God is the life that contains you. The wisdom that God is the wisdom that contains you. The supply that God is the supply that contains you. And the life, wisdom, and supply that God is, they are infinite. Which leads us to a really good title for a Sunday talk, The Infinite Nature of You. I wonder if Paul could have been speaking to such an awareness when he extended God as that in which we live and move and have our being. It sounds similar, don't you think? It's a quote which predates Paul by many, many years, by the way. So again, contrary to many paths, good-hearted as they might be, contrary to many paths which would sway humanity from its divine heritage, from the infinite nature of you, if you will, unity would say that to honor God is to live life. That to honor God is to embrace wisdom. That to honor God is to delight in supply. The trick is to remember that it's all God's. There's the trick. That the life we live is always an expression of the life we call God. That the wisdom we embrace is always an expression of the wisdom we call God. That the supply in which we delight is always the supply we call God. The quote is, I can of myself do nothing. That's how Judaism's most famous rabbi, Christianity's central avatar, said the same thing. I can of myself do nothing. So next Sunday, it's the second in this series, we will seek to know the infinite nature of life in deeper ways. Take a deep breath. Normative Christianity would call next Sunday's service an old-fashioned healing service. You ready for that? Preach. In other words, it's a return to unity's roots in the belief that there is a connection between the quality of our inner worlds and the quality of our manifest worlds. So we don't need problems to turn our awareness to that ultimate reality, to the divine, to God itself. In fact, that's yet another paradigm which is oddly backward. For I tend to think that until we embrace the spiritual path with more vigor, we tend to give rise to more problems. So we don't need problems. We need simple willingness. We need a simple willingness to step more fully onto the spiritual path, willingness to avail ourselves to its wonders, and willingness to dedicate ourselves to its longings. And that, my friends, is what upcoming Sundays are all about.
Here I am, a vessel to be used. Whatever Spirit needs of me, I will be, I will be, I will be. Here
Thanks again for joining us. Please visit unityinlinwood.org for a preview of all upcoming classes, services, and events, and for an opportunity to make a gift to our community should you so choose. Thank you.